What is up, YouTube land? Let us continue the Sonic adventure. If you remember last time, we just got on the egg carrier after fighting it twice. And I think Trev has 4 more stages?
Only 3 more.
3 more. As we mentioned before, we're going to do all the stories on this one.
Yeah, we're probably gonna. The next one I'm doing, I want to get the bad ones out of the way right away. So I think I'm actually gonna do Amy's, all of it like this, because it's only 3 stages.
So you kind of, how do I put this? You kind of piece the story together by playing everyone's thing. Like you'll see, like I think Big the cat, for instance, is on egg carrier as well right here. I think.
And yeah, Amy's on the egg carrier, Tails is.
Yeah,
Big
you'll like
is.
see like how they get here and all this stuff.
Actually, I think Knuckles is too. I think literally all 6 playable characters are on egg carrier at this point. But this game it's overly convoluted for a incredibly simple story. Like they have these flashbacks to call like this ancient like Echidna civilization, but it's just more like very basic lore about the Chaos Emeralds and how Chaos was like the protector of Chaos. That's why he's called Chaos. It's just Chow with an S.
Chow S. Got him.
The last 3 stages for Sonic. This
is a hard stage.
These stages are rough. One thing I'll definitely give for these stages is that they're very ambitious. It's clear that they didn't phone it in, but these stages like barely run in this game. And especially the Dreamcast version, I noticed that there's a lot of slowdown and like frame skipping too. Not right now, but later in this stage and definitely in stage 9 and 10.
There's a lot going on. Obviously, this gives like instant reminders of I forget the stage name, but near the end of Sonic 2, where I think you're underneath the egg carrier or whatever they call it in that game.
Yeah.
Very similar kind of thing going on. All I know is, as someone who, I don't have many fears, but heights is one of them, even imagining this is, like, ridiculous.
Yeah, and you're on the underside of the egg carrier.
Which is, like, I don't know, 30, 40,000 feet up in the air. And some of the parts are being held up by nothing. Like, they're just free-floating, like, barriers. Like this, you're attached to the ship, but there's some tiny parts where it's just like, ah, yes, this is attached to nothing. Cool. But that's because Eggman is, I guess, if Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk becomes a supervillain. Yeah, you're right. Continues to be.
Especially Jeff Bezos. I know everyone hates Elon Musk, but it's just because he has strong opinions about random stuff, but he's like not nearly as bad as Jeff Bezos.
Did you see that Elon Musk was going to get into a fight with Mark Zuckerberg, like a boxing match or a jiu-jitsu or whatever? No, but here's the best part.
Elon Musk would absolutely demolish him.
No, that's what I thought. Mark Zuckerberg literally takes like jiu-jitsu and self-defense stuff.
Really?
There's a video of him like taking down someone, and I'm sure the person didn't try super hard, but taking down someone who's like fairly big, like around the same size as Mark Zuckerberg or whatever. So here's the funny part. This was like all set to like happen. It was going to be for like charity or whatever. Like, hey, we'll raise a bunch of money for charity. It would have been awesome, right? Then Elon Musk came out, or somebody came out saying that Elon Musk's mom wouldn't let the fight happen. That literally his mom was like, no, I will not allow you to fight. And I'm like, all right, I guess even being like one of the top 5 richest people in the world, your mom can still BTFO you.
That is... I wonder if that's an excuse or a real thing.
I think it's an excuse because I think Elon thought that it would be easy, and then he probably saw that Mark Zuckerberg, while though he is a robot, is like a robot who is combat trained now.
Oh, come on. Stupid piece of crap.
So yeah.
I have to shoot this thing in the actual cannon. But of course it's being stupid.
Why don't you just wait for it to come around?
Because it's not consistent at all where it stops.
Okay.
This part of the stage, this is like the most ambitious stage, but also just the most janky.
Yeah, this part it starts going on its side, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and like the physics are so messed up.
I literally have no idea what's going. Like Trev, just jump. Like if you just jump, you see that you don't jump like straight.
Yeah, I'm like it's like at a 30-degree angle right now. And, like, I don't want to, like, spin dash these enemies because they randomly become electrocuted, too. It's like, this part is, like, they clearly did not half-ass it, but they clearly didn't have enough time to, like, put it enough time in the oven, either.
The speedrun, like, would just do weird stuff, kind of like Trevor's doing right now, but 100 times more, and just kind of, like what is happening? And kind of just, like, utilize this weird turning thing.
It's like, this game was like 10 years before Super Mario Galaxy. It's like, Galaxy has some weird... Go down! Go down! Okay. Galaxy has some pretty cool, pretty cool gravity stuff, but like, even in that game it could be kind of janky. In this game it is turbo janky.
So there's the reason why Jeff Bezos reminds me of Dr. Eggman is, you remember how he flew into space? It was like for a minute kind of thing. They're doing it again, but this time like more. I guess they're like actually flying around or so. I didn't pay super close attention, but he's like doing it again, and he's once again gonna take someone who's super rich up there. And it's like these super rich people didn't learn from that whole ridiculous Titanic thing of being like, maybe just because you're rich doesn't mean you're like qualified to like do extreme things.
They don't care about anything.
Is that it?
They live in their own bubble.
But eventually Jeff Bezos will be like, yes, I have this new thing we designed, the egg carrier. I mean, the Amazon carrier.
Dude, Jeff Bezos would definitely be Dr. Eggman if it was like 50 years in the future.
The Bezos carrier. Go, chaos! Bring Prime to all the people. Yikes, that's a little too real.
Dude, that video of the Amazon blimp and it like having its own arsenal of like those remote like AI controlled drones delivering packages. I don't know if it's real or not. I don't think it is, but like that is a reality I could definitely see in like 20 years. Just big mega Amazon like steel I don't know what they're called. Not blimps. Just like the big
Hindenburg.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about though, yeah.
Okay.
So I was talking to our UPS driver. We've had the same UPS driver at CIB for all 12 years, which is ridiculous. Because if you compare FedEx, we had... Do you remember Kevin, the FedEx driver?
Yeah.
He was our FedEx guy for like 2, 3, 4 years, and he was awesome. And after Kevin, we've probably literally had... Tell me if I'm overvaluing.
Like 30?
30?
Yeah.
Right? 30 is the number that came to my head.
Every single FedEx driver that I see, it's like someone new.
Maybe more. And we've had... I mean, Kevin takes time off. Like, he had a surgery, and he takes vacations and whatever. But, like, Kevin has been our UPS driver for 12 years. And I was talking to him when... so, UPS used to use... Amazon used to use UPS, like, for almost everything. But now they start having these, like Prime drivers. They're just, like, they just drop off the Amazon Prime stuff. And Kevin was telling me how it's, like, such a huge mistake, and it's, like, so much more expensive to, like, maintain your own fleets, hire in people. And, like, Amazon people are already overworked. I mean, that's, like, not me being political. Like, that's just a thing.
It's the most common knowledge ever.
Right, it's just super common knowledge. And, like, sometimes we get Prime deliveries, Trevor, at the store. Am I overstating by saying sometimes we get deliveries at 7 p.m.?
Yeah.
Like, literally 7 p.m.
There are sometimes, like, when I lived in Brownstown, there were sometimes when... Because you can't, like, dictate. You can't be, like... You can't select an option to be, like... please don't have them deliver on Sundays. Like, they either have, like, 1-day shipping or, like, a week shipping. It's like, okay, thanks for options. But, like, sometimes just by ordering stuff, you get things delivered on Sunday. And, like, I remember, like, multiple times things getting delivered at, like, 9 p.m. on a Sunday. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. I didn't ask for this.
And the thing that sucks is, and I know it's part the consumer's responsibility, but sometimes I'll be like, we'll be doing LPs, and we'll run out of AA batteries. And I'll be like, okay, well, whatever. I'll just order, you know, a 24-pack of batteries on Prime, whatever. And they'll deliver it on, like, Sunday at 5 p.m. And I'm like, I didn't need these that bad. The whole reason I ordered them is, like, I don't need them today. I need them in a week. Take your time. And I feel so bad when these, like, drivers are just, like, I don't know. They have these huge routes, and I just feel so bad about it. Also, I've been saying this for years, but especially true for the stuff we order for the store. They lose so much money on their shipping and packaging because sometimes they still do send stuff through UPS or especially USPS. Sometimes we still get Amazon stuff through the post office, which I still don't quite understand how that works. Like, why sometimes it's one, sometimes it's the other. But, like, we'll order, like, I don't know, a single medium-sized thing, and we'll get a smaller box in a bigger box, and in that smaller box is the smaller object, and I'm like, okay, like, you just cost yourself, like, $5 more shipping on this because you use this huge freaking box for it. I guess it's one of those things where they don't care about losing, like, $5 here or there if they're like, no, just make people happy instantly. Give them their stuff instantly. It doesn't matter how you do it.
So, if you ever wonder if you buy something from Amazon and it's shipped really weirdly, like, either in, like, a huge box with, like, way too much packaging, or it's just shipped weirdly in general, if you want a really depressing time, look up the videos of people that have to pack the Amazon shipments in the boxes, like, in their factories. It is the most grueling, monotonous job ever. You're, like, in this, like, you're in this box, and, like, you have to do, like, multiple, like, a couple orders a minute, and it's just over and over. They have, like, a huge screen in front of you of what you have to pack in the box, and, like, these people just have to, like, throw them in the box, and then put the, like, the packaging, and then seal them up, and, like, you're graded by how many you do a minute, or, like, an hour, and it's just... I couldn't imagine doing that. If I had to do that for one day, I'd kill myself.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're like, oh, it's $20 an hour or whatever, and it's like, okay, you have literally no life then because you're just like so tired.
And that's why like everyone hates Amazon. That's why everyone likes Amazon, but also hates them because like all that like dehumanization and like just extreme productivity equals lower prices, but the people just get treated like cattle, like literal cattle.
Is this Chaos 6?
Yeah.
One that happened last week that I still don't quite understand. I ordered 3 micro SD cards for the store. We use them for a bunch of different stuff. And one day, I guess maybe a Monday, I got a shipment in one of those like little white bubble mailers or whatever of 2 of them. And I was like, weird, I thought I ordered 3, but whatever. And then the next day on Tuesday, I got a bubble mailer of 1 more. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't understand how that makes any sense for you to do that. It's 3 micro SD cards. They're the smallest thing humanly possible. So there's all this waste of this person having to make 2 trips, or 2 separate people making trips, because you didn't put 3 in at the same time, even though they were in stock at whatever, like, distribution center. Like, just stuff like that, I'm like, man, if they just let their people take, like, an extra minute, they would save so much money by being like, hey, I need to ship all 3 of these together. It makes sense. It won't make everyone, like, waste all this time. 3 micro SD cards, you get them in 2 separate transactions. And that's not me complaining. I didn't need them that day. It's just me feeling bad for them to have to do that.
It's just the people, the management, and the way that Amazon is run. It's like, if you ever get really weird shipments, that's exactly the reason why. It's because the overworked worker has to just slam stuff in boxes and ship it out in 5 seconds.
It must be nice to know, like, to be working for a place, and even though you're getting paid, like, pretty well, epic, to, like, hear from, like, I'm sure you don't just hear it from the news, I'm sure there's something, like, on a press release where it's like, hey, your CEO's going into space. Right? Like, I understand CEOs make more money, like, I get it, it's gonna happen regardless, even if things were fair or not fair, but it's like, you're there, you're like, so tired from like a 14-hour work shift, and it's like, I'm going to space again.
There's no way anyone in the lower levels of Amazon likes Amazon at all. It has to be just hell on earth to them.
Yeah.
The only people that like Amazon are middle to upper management, the executives, and Jeff Bezos, because he makes literally millions of dollars a second.
It's crazy. By the way, I just want to point out, game-wise, that you just jumped off of that ship, and you landed with, like, a comical, like, thud.
Yeah, I mean, Sonic falls from the sky multiple times in this game. The first time he does it, he lands, like, head first in the beach. So, like, he's just immune to fall damage.
I guess that one
which is
makes sense, like, in a dumb way, because sand, you could land in it and not die, maybe. I don't know.
Terminal speed,
yeah.
Head into sand, I think you would die.
But this one was super funny because he, like, bounces, like, 3 feet up.
I mean, terminal speed, when you hit water, you die instantly.
Yeah, that's true. I think there's certain ways that you have to land into it. I forget if you're supposed to. I think you're supposed to land like
maybe feet first
with the least points of impact. So if you can make yourself kind of like a sphere, or not a sphere, a spike kind of thing. That
if
might
you
work.
do like a super like put your body together, feet first, and the pool of water is like 500 feet deep because you're going to be plunging down extremely fast. But I still have a feeling that you're going to die.
And you better take a really deep breath because you're going to have to swim the whole way back up with probably broken feet or whatever. I mean, chances are pretty low, of course. Mythbusters, get on it.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite pieces of useless information ever, by the way. That both the guys with Mythbusters just freaking hated each other. And the only reason they, like, did what they did...
Is that true?
Yeah, oh yeah, they, like, hated each other. And, like, even before, like the show... Like, it wasn't like, oh, we liked each other, and then the show got big and whatever. They just, like, always hated each other. But we're so interested in the science and all this stuff, and we, like, need each other, because the one guy's, like, the idea guy, and the one guy's more of the practical guy. That they're like, I seriously hate you, but I want to do this because I'm so interested in, like, science and whatever. It's a pretty interesting take when you... I mean, I don't think it was out until the show, like, ended.
Yeah, that's so weird.
But yeah, just imagine, like, not everyone, of course, likes their, like, coworkers, but what if it's like, hey, you're the two guys in charge of whatever, and it's like, oh yeah, I would literally never even be in a picture with this guy because I hate him so much. It's like, yeah.
It's like me working with Spencer for over 10 years and me being like, I hate him!
That's what I feel about myself, so... No, it's so... Like, you hear that stuff some, like, times where, like, stuff breaks down, you know, where it's like, oh, I don't know, something happened, so Mark Hamill doesn't like Harrison Ford or whatever kind of thing. Which is
Ford doesn't like anybody.
Not true, yeah, Harrison Ford doesn't like anyone. I just saw the newest Indiana Jones today.
Was it?
It wasn't as bad as people are making it seem. Now, I will start off by saying that I have no nostalgia for the original movies. I watched them all as an adult. So the first three and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So I didn't hate Kingdom of the Crystal Skull as much as everyone else. I thought it was, like, pretty decent. Like, is it as good as the first three? No. But is it pretty decent? Yeah, in my opinion. I was actually pleasantly surprised because I thought they were going to make him, like, the saddest character in the world. Like, literally, like, just let me die, you know, whatever. And they had, like, a little bit of that, but it wasn't nearly as bad. I didn't go in with super high expectations, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought. The main girl is insufferable, though.
It's kind of an indie tradition, though.
Yeah, that's what Ash said. She was like... Because my most hated indie movie is actually Temple of Doom. I would rather watch Kingdom of the Crystal Skull than Temple of Doom. I was very.
I mean, the girl's annoying in that, but I like.
Well, the girl and it's been several years since I watched it, but I don't even think the kid was particularly fun. Although I almost universally dislike child actors. Including the child actor in this one. I don't dislike the child actors. I dislike the fact that child actors have to be used and they're not good.
Yeah,
I
the
wanna
only
make sure I'm
good
clear
the only
of that.
good child actor is T2.
Yeah, and look where that ended with that dude's life.
I mean, yeah, it sucks because I mean they're always exploited and then they have a terrible life.
Yeah.
But his performance in
Was
T2
awesome,
was
yeah.
good.
Yeah, that is true.
Of course, the most infamous one is Little Anakin in Phantom Menace. His performance was awful and his life was ruined.
Well, you know the funny thing is he was also in one of my top 10 favorite movies, which is also an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Jingle All the Way. But that isn't obviously nearly as like needed as, you know, being literally Anakin Skywalker. But yeah, it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought. The girl was simply awful though. Like, she had literally no character arc, and I'm not like one of those people that tries to go in and be like, you must be really realistic all the time. But
Was she like overly competent? Was she like a girl boss? Or
Oh,
was she...
1000%.
Okay, that makes sense, especially from.
It was clearly some writer or some producer. It was clearly a self-insert of something.
Okay. Because some of the other
holy crap,
some of the other indie girls are annoying, but they are not competent. But
no, she was like competent at everything.
that sucks.
And then the very end,
hate
I won't
girl
give
bosses.
any spoilers, but the very end, Indy wants to do something, and I was like, oh man, this would be awesome if this ended this way, because like, this is all that Indy ever wanted. And she's like, no, you have to come back for me or whatever. And he's like, no, this is perfect for me. This is everything I ever wanted. Blah blah blah. And instead of letting him do it, she cold cocks him and just knocks him out, and then takes him to the ending.
That sucks.
Which is not what he wanted. And it's like, okay. So yeah, literally. That like yeah,
Because at least
absolute girl boss.
like Temple Doom Girl, which I don't remember her name, is like annoying, but she's like contributes basically nothing.
And I want to make it clear, because I was thinking about this a lot today when I was like driving and stuff, that I have no problem with strong female characters. Two of my favorite movies of all time are Terminator 2 and Aliens. And Alien, or 3 or 4.
Terminator 2 is like the perfect way to write a strong
Sarah
female
Connor
character.
in Terminator 1 is like, she doesn't know what's going on, she's just a waitress, she's kind of whatever. And then her character arc is in Terminator 2, she's super BA. She's super hardcore, and never once in that movie was I like, oh, I wish this was a guy instead. Like, come on. Like, Ellen Ripley in Alien or Aliens, like, I'm never like, oh god, I wish this was a man.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, Ellen Ripley and Sarah Connor go through stuff. They have a character arc, like they're like weak or don't know what's going on, and they have to like learn, and it's awesome.
If Sarah Connor was like where she was in 2 in 1 automatically, it would be so stupid.
It would be stupid. Yeah, if she was like, I'm a waitress, but...
And that's why everyone hates girl bosses, and it's so obvious why they're in modern movies, but it sucks.
And I thought about it because it's been a while since I've seen Indy, but I remember even in Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones isn't like a guy boss, whatever the version of that is, because he gets BTFO'd all the time. Like, he gets, like, hit, thrown. I think the very first thing that happens in that movie is he messes up, right? When he tries to grab that famous scene where he tries to grab the idol, and, like, he messes up, and then the famous rolling boulder. That's, like, literally the first thing that happens to him. So it's like, he's adventurous, he's strong, but he screws up, and he gets his butt handed to him. Metal Gear, Solid Snake, probably gets destroyed more than any character I've ever known. He's a strong character, and I like him because of that. Kiefer Sutherland, Jack Bauer in 24, gets literally tortured constantly. He like, is on death. I think he actually dies. He literally dies and is brought back because 24 is stupid. But you know what I mean? Like, these are like, if Jack Bauer was like, I'm perfect in every way and I never make mistakes, people would be like, this sucks. Like, in the first season of 24, all he cares about is saving his family, and guess what? Spoilers for a 20-year-old thing. His wife dies because of him! Like, partially because of him.
Yeah, and Solid Snake is really weird because by the end of MGS1, he is almost a perfect soldier, and that's the reason why in MGS2 he is not the protagonist, and that's why they hand the role to Raiden. Because Raiden is a flawed protagonist, and Snake is like a basically a completed character, is sort of the mentor Raiden, and why like most of his exploits are off screen. But then it's really weird because they have to make Snake into a flawed protagonist again with 4, so they made him really old and brittle. It kind of sucks, but
the nobody likes. I want to say nobody likes, unless it's done comically. So nobody likes a perfect character. That's why, like, in general, people don't really like Superman, at least nowadays. Like, it's not a thing that people are, like, super, like, excited about, right? And even then, in order for Superman to, like, become, like, whatever, they have to, like, give him stupid things. Like in Batman vs. Superman, where he's like, my mom, and then Batman's like, my mom has the same name as your mom.
Yeah.
And Superman's like, what? Like, the one that does it super well, I can't wait for Season 2 or Season 3, whatever it is Saitama from One Punch Man. He's literally so strong that he kills... I thought this show was going to be boring as hell, because when you're like, hey, the main character kills anyone in one punch. It's literally called One Punch Man. That sounds boring as hell, right? But he's, like, so strong, and they never explain why, at least as far as I'm aware. Maybe they do in the manga, why he's so strong.
They do not.
Good, and they should never. And his whole character flaw is he gets bored, and all he wants to do is, like, play video games and, like, hang out and stuff. Because, like, he doesn't like fighting anymore, because it's, like, so easy.
And they go into it a little bit more in the manga, but, like, he's also, like, he's bored, but also, like, he's getting to the point where he's losing, like, his, like, ability to, like, connect with regular people, too. They don't go super serious about it, but it is something that is brought up a little bit.
So you build a character like Saitama, who's literally, I guess, I don't know if you want to say, no, it's not. He's not a Mary Sue, because a Mary Sue's part of that is everyone has to always talk about how awesome they are.
Yeah, the biggest flaw of Saitama is that he doesn't have any, like, super ridiculously powers. Like, obviously he's just, like, peak human. Like, he is ridiculously fast, he can kill everything in one punch. He's super fast, but he doesn't have, like, super flight, he doesn't have teleportation, he doesn't have, like...
so he can't just... He's not like Goku, where he, like, instant teleports to someone.
And, like, basically the main, like, conflict is, like, things obviously happen with him not being around. It's mostly, like, those situations where he is not around, and the tertiary characters get BTFO.
But they do it good. It's not like DBZ, where all you do is go, where's Goku?
Yeah.
It's not quite like that with Saitama.
Because, Saitama doesn't... Like, he wants to be a hero, but he's, like you said, he's just bored and,
he's, like, not built for it. It's the ironic part, because he would be the perfect hero. Who's his companion, the blonde guy, the blonde robot?
Genos?
Genos. If Genos was as strong as Saitama, he'd be a super Mary Sue Superman.
Yeah.
Because Genos, all he wants is to be as strong as Saitama, and he, like, tries to learn by Saitama. Like, Saitama could, like, eat a Pop-Tart, and Genos would be like, so that's why Saitama's so strong. Yeah, I think they even have a joke where they're like, why are you so strong? And he's like, oh, I do this. And he does, like, this stupid workout.
100 push-ups, 5 kilometers a day. And, like, yeah.
It's such a good show,
Genos gets mad because he's like, stop lying, or whatever he says.
He's like, what? No, that's what I do. It's so good.
I mean, the funny, comparison between the characters is that Genos is a Mary Sue. Like, he is so ridiculously over-designed and, like, has a ridiculously backstory and, like, just super ridiculously, like, robot parts. But because he's compared to Saitama, he just seems like a jobber.
Yeah, he'll literally always technically be number 2. I guess unless they go further into why Saitama's the way he is. Oh,